Alright everyone, here we are with ticker symbol OPEN, Opendoor Technologies Inc. And before we jump into this chart, I want to say welcome to all the first time viewers and investors. Welcome to the channel, Invest for Tomorrow. To all the subscribers, welcome back. And as we dive into this chart, I do want every single investor and viewer to be aware, to stay tuned on in towards the end of this video, because we are going to cover some information about the market and how it's been reacting lately, about the Fed and the S&P 500 index, and a video you won't want to overlook or miss. So stay tuned for more information towards the end of this video, and even some of my experiences as an investor. So if you want to learn some of that, you can stay tuned till the end of this video. Now, if you guys want to know what ticker symbols I'm watching, live updates to add to your watch list that I'm adding to my watch list, or already have it on my watch list, but I'm paying very close attention now as discounts are starting to appear, right? Quote unquote discounts as the market is pulling back. You can join me on over at Patreon. The link is down below in the description. And there's no better time than now to start researching, doing your due diligence on stocks as they're pulling downwards, to find discounted stocks, know more about them, understand them, and then make a rational decision based off of all your due diligence and research. So I'm not there to tell you guys to buy, sell, or hold any positions, but I am here to enlighten you guys. And this is the best time to start knowing what to add to your watch list to not miss out on things when they start to run up. There is no fear of missing out when a stock is pulling downwards, only when it's going up. This is the time to understand stocks. So let's jump into this. Opendoor Technologies Inc. This is a stock I've been talking about since it was IPOB before the merger at 21.67, right? I went ahead and started talking about it on December 5th. Now, I had been watching it a little bit before that, but I needed confirmation that after this dip, this was consolidating and running up. And after I saw it run up and pull back that fast and run back up, I noticed that this stock was hitting newer lows and newer highs as it was reacting after this speculative run. And it still hadn't become from IPOB to open, OPEN. And I knew that there was run here and room for it to continue because the anticipation was already seen. It pulled back, and now the anticipation towards the merger actually happening was running. So another thing too, ARK Invest continued to buy. They had a very small position at the time. I think it was like 1 million before this video when I first talked about it. This is the official video where I went ahead and kind of did an update and I talked more about the company and stuff and like a thorough analysis. But I talked about IPOB a little bit before this, but they had like around 1.4, 1.5 million shares. And at this point, you can't really see it there. It's kind of blurry, but they had like 2.5 million shares, around 2 million and some change, let's say. It was very interesting to me because they loaded up pretty quickly. And I could see this stock since that time actually passing Zillow Group. And their position on Zillow Group is not that, strong or high in numbers of shares because Zillow Group is worth like over $100 per share, I believe, or really close to it. I haven't seen Zillow in a while, but I kept comparing it to it because this is in the same sector in a sort of way, or in the same type of field. And I saw that IPOB was going to become a major part of this portfolio in the future, especially the way they're reacting. And if they're comparing it to the valuations of Zillow or Zillow Group's potential, they're seeing room here for this to possibly, from $21, at least 3 to 5x. So they're just loading up. And I was surprised. And now the whole entire chart is showing us how this is hitting newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, right? So what's the next low? That's the question. We just saw this hit a low here of $25. I think that was like a steal right there, actually. And we're going into still seeing the S&P 500 index slightly pulling back. We don't know how much more further it could go. And it just continues to seem like an opportunity here with this ticker symbol to be aware of it, because the biggest thing right now is ARK Invest has loaded up tremendously. So if you think that they loaded up from like 1.4 to like 2.5 million in a matter of like a month back in December, and that was a lot, you're going to be surprised how they've reacted now. And I believe this stock already passed Zillow Group on the list on the amount of weight that it has over the portfolio. And I could see this being probably one of their top 5 or top 10 by no doubt on the way they're reacting. So let's see this. And this is like one of the most overlooked stocks that ARK Invest is loading up on. So they went ahead and had 4.3 million, right, shares at the beginning of February. February is ending. Today's the last day of February. That was on Thursday, the first week of February. They had that much. And I can go even further, and it would be even more surprising. But I just wanted to get one as close as possible to the beginning of February and then till now, so you could see the difference. 4.3 million. Now, Zillow Group, right, is still kind of above it at this point, and they've been very aggressive since December. They've almost multiplied their position by 2. But I still see Opendoor Technologies passing Zillow Group because of the fact that they have so many shares, and this could possibly, like I said, 3x, 5x in the eyes of ARK Invest, how they're reacting to this, and if they're really comparing it to Zillow Group. And it's in the next generation internet ETF, which I have so much respect for this ETF because these are disruptive stocks and stocks dominating per se in their sectors. And I said this could possibly hit 100 million. It's certainly above it at the beginning of February. So let's see where Opendoor is now in their portfolio. So here we have the 25th, right, of this month. That was on Thursday, right there on Thursday. So we're going to see the difference between the last 2 days of the week. And Zillow Group's already below Opendoor, and they have now 1 million shares of Zillow Group, so they're pretty bullish in this sector. And then we have Opendoor here, 6.1 million shares, and it's almost at a market value of 200 million. I mean, that right there is wild. So let's see their most latest and updated position. They have 6.6 million, and it went up just in one day from how much they loaded up. They loaded up 500,000 of shares, and their position went up almost 10 million. I mean, they are extremely bullish. Everyone talks about nano dimensions, and this is, how I've been paying attention to Opendoor and others on this list. But Opendoor really stood out to me. This is the most overlooked stock that ARK Invest is centering in on. And as the market's going down, they're loading up. They're not like shaving off or playing that, back and forth position like they've been doing lately with NANO, like they've been even doing with Tesla. A lot of people say, oh, they're rebalancing and buying more Tesla. Well, I talked about it in my last video. Tesla got shaved off from 132,000. Forget about the million. And then we come over here to 117,000. Very interesting to me. And if we go all the way back, Tesla was at 841,000. So they're holding their position a little bit above the beginning of February. But in the last several days, you can see they've been shaving off. They're still over 1 million, but it's interesting to me. But Opendoor, big deal here. They're literally loading up the boat here, and they've been doing it since December. I had the conviction that they see this ending up in the top 10, top 5. Here we go. And that it was going to surpass Zillow Group, not because it's worth more, but because they have so many shares and they're getting in on early that the weight of this stock was going to be bigger than Zillow Group, but that they weren't going to want to miss out on Zillow Group because they feel like they've missed out on Zillow Group. So they weren't going to let Opendoor pass. And that's what we're seeing here. And this stock is showing newer lows, newer highs. Newer lows, newer highs, newer lows, newer highs, newer lows. This might be one of the best or only opportunities this year as this correction or crash continues to catch this one in the 20s. Honestly, unless there's just something drastic that changes or something terrible in the market just collapses, and I mean it just gets completely destroyed. But I believe that this is like one of the last times we're going to see this one in the 20s, and it's going to continue this upward newer high, newer low, and then next, by the time you know it, it's going to stay in the 30s, hit newer highs of 50s, then come back down, hit the 40s, and just keep on going. I mean, that's what this is showing so far. And I mean, this is in a disruptive sector, and it's a disruptive company. So if you want to do more due diligence, I highly recommend it, but don't overlook this one. As always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button to let me know you watch this video. Share this with your friends and community, and hit the subscribe button if you learned something new. Stay tuned till the end, because I have so much more information to share with you guys about the S&P 500 and more. So for everyone that has made it to this point in the video, what I want to share with you guys, and what video I don't want you guys to overlook. I know I talked about the stock market crash or correction video that I posted about almost a week ago, and I'm thankful for all of you guys that went ahead and took the time to check it out, the one down here. But today I posted another one going into more depth about why the stock market is down, how it could possibly continue going in this direction, and if we're really in a stock market crash or correction. Hopefully we're in a correction and not a crash, because a crash takes longer to hit the bottom, and it takes even longer to leave the bottom and come back up to a recovery. A correction is a healthy pullback that can continue to push and propel the market forward. Now, the one thing I do share with you guys here is how the Fed changed things up and what the Fed is doing moving forward. And what the Fed does will have a big impact on the market. I also share a link to one of the articles that I talk about in the video that you definitely want to check out. So jump on into this video if you have a chance. I posted it 2 hours ago. I don't want any single investor and viewer to overlook it. Now, over here, I have my Twitter, and I've posted some things here, but what I do want you guys to be aware of these tweets is that I'm just going to start sharing information and thoughts on here to probably motivate or even inspire investors and have, a perspective that they may not have had before. So if you want to join me on in at Twitter, you definitely can. And if you want to know what stocks I'm watching live, the Patreon link is here as well. You can go ahead and join me there, and you'll see what ticker symbols I'm watching. And there's no better time than to be able to add ticker symbols to your watch list, be aware of them, do your due diligence on them while the stock market is pulling back. Again, I hope we're not in a crash and we're in a correction, but you can join me on over at the Patreon. The link will be down below. So this is one of the posts that I posted not too long ago, and I want every single investor to understand this, because I think that sometimes we as investors, and I did this a lot as a new learning and first time investor, jumping into ticker symbols I don't understand. I was just looking at the price. I was looking at the possibility of how much it can run up. I would look at the chart and I would say, wow, this stock was once $100 and right now it's going for $3, without knowing in my mind at all that there was this thing that, what the heck is this? We can have sex, or, oh my gosh, what is going on here? What is happening? What the heck, man? This is crazy. Anyways, guys, ignore that. I cannot believe that even is popping up here. So, what is happening? That's the section, what is happening? Literally, that's what I'm asking myself. But back to what I was trying to say. I can't believe I just lost focus. I was jumping into stocks that had reverse splits. And I was thinking, $3 to 100. That's it. That's all it takes. No, it wasn't like that. It had reverse splits. It was never even worth $100 at one point. It was actually worth less than that. Maybe $10, because the reverse split was 10 for every one or something like that. Who knows? And that $3, yeah, it looks like it can go up to 100, but it's really 30 cents for any investor that was in it before the reverse split, which is what happens. But anyways, 2 ways to know you are in a stock you understand. You believe in the company's mission and outlook, okay? That's the most important thing. You need to believe in the companies you're in. You plan on holding for more than just a day or even a month. If you're a day trader or you're a scalper or you're a swing trader, then maybe you know what you're doing and what your goal is. But when you're really looking for stocks that you want to understand rather than technicals and like jumping in and out, you want to make sure you're going to hold for more than a day, more than a month, and possibly even a year if you really feel the conviction or understand the company. So the goal is to find companies you understand. One thing I want every single investor to be aware of, especially new investors, you want to build a portfolio first before you start day trading and scalping. Unless you get lucky, you do options, you do a few day trades, and it's going well for you, then that's a very small percentage of investors, because at some point you always get burnt out. It's happened to me before in my learning experiences all the way to where I'm at now. You want to have a solid portfolio before you try those things. That's just something that I've learned from my experience. Others people could have a different experience, and I respect it. But I look forward to seeing your thoughts on that if you've experienced that before. That you got in, you started day trading, options trading, and everything was going well, and then you got burnt. I would love to see your guys' experiences if you want to share that down below. So here we are with another tweet I posted today. And the only place everyone runs from when it's on sale is the stock market. Isn't that something? And right now, it looks like we're in a correction. Hopefully we are. We're not in a crash so far. It could turn into a crash. And crashes take longer to hit the bottom. They take longer to come back up. But the one thing that it's looking like right now, and so far every article that I'm reading, it's saying that we're possibly in a correction. And a correction could be healthy. Okay? That's what it's saying out there right now. The Fed is not trying to raise interest rates. So that's another thing that might not allow things to completely crash. We'll have to see moving forward. But so far right now, it looks like we're in a correction and not a crash. So one thing that I find interesting is when stocks are falling, everyone runs instead of focusing on in and saying, okay, why are they falling? Could it be temporary? And what stock is looking like it's on sale? Because I've seen the potential of the stock. Let me go ahead and take a shot at it, because this is the time to watch it. This is the time to do a due diligence. This is the time to do research, so that once you understand the company and you feel comfortable about it, you can make a rational decision as an investor. This is the time to dig deep and understand the companies and the stocks, because there's no sense of missing out or fear of missing out on any stock, because the stocks are falling. There's nothing running up. This is the time to dig deep so that you can prepare and be aware to then make rational decisions in the market as things continue to play out. As always, guys, if you found this video helpful and informative, please do so and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let's make some money.